And we're live. And
Sketch
we
heads.
are live.
Hello.
Good
Hello,
evening.
everybody.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of whatever we call this. I hope everyone's had a really good week. My life has been consumed by work and Elden Ring.
Oh, yes.
Someone's streams coming through their microphones.
Yes.
But yeah, it's been a fun week. So busy.
All right. Couple new followers. We got Oalian, Storm Chandler, Death Teddy 1, and Malevity. 4 new followers, and Killam Nada gifted 2 more tier 1 subs. So thanks for that, Killam. We really appreciate you. See you in chat all the time.
Thanks, man.
Um,
I got it.
there you go.
Sorry, it was me. My phone volume was up.
There you go. I mean, you have a new mic, right? So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Gotta
figure it out.
Yeah. And I believe that Kate has something we wanted to point out. I don't know if you want to do the announcement about our new little thing for in the chat or no.
Are they in? Are they?
They
uploaded?
should be. They should be there.
Oh,
I believe
awesome.
so.
We're gonna be having some new emotes come out each week. I'm drawing up some stuff. The
Nice.
first 2 are the ones that came recommended from stream 1. We have a soup emote and a dog egg emote now. So
Which
I don't see them.
So I believe they should be in there, but if not, they'll be there by next stream. I'm still kind of messing around with it and figuring out if we want it to be follower only or subscriber only or whatever might be. But as we go, we're still learning as we go, right? So hopefully you guys will be able to get some emotes in chat in the coming weeks.
Nice.
So is that everything we have out of the way? Any more announcements anybody wants to shout out before we start?
Good as far as I know.
I love you
Well,
all.
let's start the trauma.
Yep.
That's what I got.
ready
Okay.
for trauma.
So we continued our adventure as you all were traveling through the Chanda Wood in search of a few different things. One is mainly was the Looming Grove, which you set out for on a quest to find some water from this grove for a certain individual in Elbador named Cade Snow. Your travels were semi-dangerous as you came upon a camp and were attacked by some forest creatures named Thornies. And eventually, after a night's rest and a campfire chit-chat, you guys decided to continue on. We left off as a roaring centaur came roaring out of the woods and began to charge you. Castus leaving off a warning shot at this centaur's feet. And also a mysterious smaller figure that was in the tree line not too far away, who called out to the centaur, kind of mysteriously disappeared as the fighting began. The centaur, seeming very more annoyed than he was warned after the warning shot hit the ground in front of him, he decided to attack all of you, and a battle was fought. Though it was quickly over, the centaur did some damage. Not without some help from his little friend, who you guys saw to be a satyr of some sort, who mysteriously would turn invisible at some points. But the fight was had, and eventually it was yielded as you guys were all put under a pretty heavy sleep spell by this satyr. Everyone but Ren and Adlith were the ones who succumbed to this sleep spell. And while the rest of your party collapsed to the ground unconscious, you were all surrounded by a group of centaur, about 6 centaur. Eventually, you gave up and were tied, hands bound, and your companions were also tied up and gathered. And essentially escorted back to the centaur's camp, which seems to be almost a semi-permanent residency for these centaur, where all of you were tied up on large posts in their camp. 1 second here. You all thinking to be about to be executed. Ren being a little bit crafty, just broke her bonds. But as you all kind of came to, these centaur kind of lined up and were about to execute all of you for trespassing. That's the word on their territory. A figure that was once a gray owl flew from the trees and landed in front of the centaur right as they were about to strike, and turned into a woman who Atlas recognized as Lillian. That's her name, correct? I'm getting that right. Yeah, that's her name. Yeah, okay. I thought okay. I have too many names in my head right now. Lillian, who was a longtime friend of Adlith, a druid, who demanded that the centaur not kill you and first set you free because they were, as a friend of Adlith, you were a friend of hers and under her protection. After some words were exchanged between all of you, Lillian returned to a large tent. Or hut, not a tent, with the centaur, and said they had to talk to a grandmother and discuss what they wanted to do with all of you before they could release you. You all waited for a few hours, spooked off some satyr children, ate some dirty food, but eventually, as night came to, were invited into this hut, where you saw the satyr, who was eventually introduced to you as Fennec, the centaur, Simonius, and a few others were inside of this hut here. And around a large fire, there were blankets and things for you to all have a seat, as you were to meet with grandmother, as Lillian did. In walked grandmother at this point, a small, very small, smaller than a human creature in a black cloak with a hood up, and you could not see anything but the darkness of their face, and two glowing eyes is all you could really see from underneath this cloak. And as grandmother walked in, she bid all of you a welcome, whether it was kind or not. It was hard to tell, but began to speak in all of your minds, telling you about some of your fates that were all intertwined in different ways. Specifically asking Simonius, who was the one who was speaking inside of his head, as he pointed to Ren's character. She kind of nodded slowly. And after that, after you kind of told her what you were looking for, the Lumen Grove was, she bid all of you to take a trip, I guess I'll say. Well, to kind of consume some of its power by drinking some of the water that was to be pouring from a tree in the grove. Ayahuasca. And all of you were given a cup. Some of you had more potent effects than others, having dreams, visions, and even voices consuming your mind. Some seeming to be looking upon your past, others looking on almost as if they were somebody completely else other than themselves, and even transported to somewhere they've never been before. But as they all came out, all three of you, Cassis, Ren, and Calder, came out startled from their dreams, the rest of you woke up from drinking your ayahuasca, your water from the Blooming Grove. It had lasted throughout the night, and you all considered to have been taking a long rest. Shaken, shook. Lillian returned and bid that you all leave the hut while she had a conversation with Adlith. It was a rather mysterious conversation. Seeming to know what Adlith carried in her possession was a dragon egg. It almost seemed as if Lillian wanted to confirm some suspicions of hers, as she cast what seemed like some sort of a ritual over the egg that was placed inside the fire. Eventually, she bid Adlith farewell, saying that she had to do some investigation and make sure of some things. Was pretty much all that she got from her, as she disappeared, once again turning into a smaller owl and flying into the forest. As the smoke dwindled, around the egg that was set inside the fire, Atlas saw that the egg had hatched, or there was nothing inside of it at all, as the top of it looked as if it had something had burst from it. And from behind her, she heard the padded footsteps of something landing. She kind of froze. She felt something lay its head on her lap. She looked down. She saw it was a head of a small red dragon. As she bade it, or really whispered in its name, what she said was puppy, all it said back was quiet. I believe that is where we left off.
Yes, sir.
While this is happening, all the rest of you went outside. You heard some commotion from the inside as Lillian and Adlith were having their conversation. But all of you, 3 of you still shook from your dreams.
So I guess just jumping in, I don't know what is going on with the rest of you, and neither does Calder. Anybody out there will see him just kind of staring off blankly into the trees, his arms at his sides, and his hands are just kind of like shaking.
Castus is he's kind of on his knees, just kind of on his hands and knees, just kind of looking down, just taking deep breaths, just kind of just staring at the dirt.
Ren went straight for the tree line, and she's gonna walk a few feet into the trees and then climb one.
Okay.
You had said that I guess during like the ritual that there was a bit of sort of like a woof or whatever, right?
Mhm.
And that like we all kind of like noticed it.
Yep.
I guess having to hear/notice that, I would make a beeline straight for the opening of the hut.
Okay. Like I said, it was a hide kind of curtain, and so you're gonna go inside.
Mhm.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing?
I'll
Well, actually,
probably-
before you answer
Okay.
that, as Egg turns and to head towards the tent or the hut. I keep saying tent. It is a hut. It's not a tent. He goes through the hide curtains and vanishes. At this point, all of you here, as you all turn, you see a large centaur, 2 large centaur, Simonius, and another one who is on his side. Simonius is still clad in the armor that he wears. Looks down upon all of you. So you all are awake.
Were we not supposed to get back up?
Some never recover from the power of the tree. You must be blessed. You, one who speaks now. I bid you come with us.
Just me?
Are you?
Just you.
Well,
I mean, do you want to go?
it certainly isn't going to be boring, I think. Grandfather's in with Atlas, so just send him along if you need me.
All right. Am I being summoned anywhere as well, or are we just?
The rest of you will stay here. And if there is any sign of any of you following us, there will be consequences. Where I take your friend is sacred, and only grandmother chooses who may see. The rest of you, stay here. You hear a sternness in his voice.
Maybe just, go help with whatever that is. And he'll, point over to the other 3 that are obviously having issues. Oh, I'm sure I'll be fine. Remember, clear communication. Try to help, but don't try to fix things. Be honest and upfront and vulnerable. You can do this.
I'm sure that'll go over great. All right.
Okay. Do you follow?
Yes.
Okay. So Simonius is leading, and as you begin to follow him, the other centaur flanks behind you. So it's a straight line of three: Simonius, you, and the other one. The other one is actually a very beautiful color pattern, a very light brown, and his chest is almost bare white, but he has this very golden tan that kind of surrounds the white. Very, very beautiful coloring on this centaur. He has his hair is actually tied up in a very big top knot of what looks like dreadlocks. Almost resembles Egg's hair in a little bit of ways. But they bid you follow, and they begin to head in a northern direction past the camp.
I mean, feel free to tell me to fuck off, but I couldn't help but notice all of your very well crafted gear. I've been wondering where you got that. Is that made here?
Find out soon enough. The time for questions is not now.
I mean, there's always time for questions. I mean, we're walking. Are you going to do something else in the meantime?
You just hear him kind of snort.
Oh, and sorry about the fire thing. I was trying to make things end quickly. You're not too singed, are you?
We'll recover. As I have before. As they take you
have
through the
twiddle.
northern parts of the woods. It is about 15-20 minutes you are walking, and you're curious how much farther it's going to be. Maybe even getting a little bit nervous and antsy. Maybe you're about to ask one of these questions when all of a sudden you hear Simonius say, "This is as far as we go without you being blinded to the path. Forgive me." And you all of a sudden your vision goes black as you can feel some sort of sack go over your head.
Well, it would have been a lot easier to kill me in camp, so I have to assume this is some sort of ritual type thing. Okay, 1 second. Okay.
At this
And
point,
we'll stick out a hand for leading.
yep. So you feel on your right side the body of one of the centaur. We are not here to kill you. Like I said, this place is sacred. Outsiders must not know where it resides. All right. Back to the rest of you. Egg, you enter. What are the rest of you wanting to do as you see Isaiah being carted away? Ren deciding to go into a large tree nearby.
Cassis is not paying attention to any of that.
Yeah, Calder is still like dead-eyed into the trees, hands shaking at his sides. Just like completely unresponsive to anything that's happened.
Egg's running into the tent, right? So it's just
Nope,
me.
pretty You're just like standing there awkwardly.
Yeah, I'm
with these-
just like in the middle of the tent, just like. Right. I guess Castus or Calder. You guys are both just kind of demoralized outside of the tent, so I guess I'll just walk up behind Calder, just like kind of slowly approaching from like the side of his vision, just like you see me like pop in from like the left of your vision, just like, hey, so you all right or?
He just keeps staring ahead.
So I'm just gonna, okay, walk away from that situation, and then
Just head to the center of the camp, or
I guess I'll try and check on Castus as well.
Yeah, he's like I said, he's on his knees. He's on his knees, his hands on dirt, kind of just looking down, and he's just kind of ignoring everything.
Hey, buddy. How we doing over here?
Fine. What? What do you want?
Just checking in, you know. I'm kind of alone in the middle of a war camp, it seems like. Maybe a little bit less of a war camp, but enemy territory. What happened in there? Everyone seems a little. I
Nothing.
mean, I don't even know where Ren went.
It's nothing. Just bullshit. That's all. It's just bullshit. That's it. Something was in that water. I don't know, but it's just bullshit.
All right. I hear you. Well, did you hear that fucking whoosh from the tent a minute ago? I mean,
No.
Okay.
No. That's. I just need time. I just need just space. Can you just? It's kind of hard to breathe right now. Can you give me some space, please?
understood. Take your space. I'll look around, see if like anyone's around. I'm just kind of like, is there even like a centaur or like anybody nearby that I can just like
Give me a perception
speak to? Sure. Oh, I didn't even get my dice out. What am I doing?
D&D without dice? What?
I know. It's a 5.
You look around immediately. Oddly enough, you do not see any centaur, like you did the previous day. When you first arrived here, it was kind of busy. There were satyr and centaur both at work around here, but it's oddly quiet. The morning, like I said, is it's muggy and it's hot. The sun here kind of peeking through the trees. It's just very uncomfortable, but you're not too sure where the rest of the population of this camp had went.
A little strange. Just literally like look around, like don't see anyone. I'm like, just like mutter to myself like, well, tried, and just like go in the tent.
Very Redrick. Very
Yep.
Redrick.
So I guess I'll
Like,
show
does
up
not
to
really
whatever.
want to hear about your
Exactly.
fucking
Exactly. But yeah, I guess I'll just walk into the tent, show up a little late to whatever's happening in there.
Very cool. So, those that are in the tent, Adlith, the last thing that you heard was quiet. But you didn't hear it. It's almost as if it came from in here. Almost the same way that grandmother had spoken to all of you. Within your mind. And as you kind of are stunned, you see the eye open. It looks at you. Almost like in shock, or in some odd realization that he isn't where he thought he was. And in startled motion, he gets up in a flash, and kind of kicking some dirt and flame in the air. He turns to you. He kind of gets low to the ground. This dragon, having these beautifully curved horns that kind of sit back. He is probably about the same size of the Thornies that you have seen. Probably stand 4 feet high. Maybe about 5 to 6 feet in length. This is obviously a very adolescent dragon. But nonetheless, he kind of has this yellow underbelly you can see scraping against the ground. Who are you? You are not what I expected. You're muted.
Oh no.
Oh,
Muted.
sorry. Hi, I'm Adlith. I'm your mom now.
As your like high pitched voice kind of rings out through the hut. You are nothing of the sort. Curious. And at this point, it is probably whenever Egg rushes in. And Egg, in front of you, you see this, what looks like a small dragon, kind of crouched in a position in front of Adlith. And as you enter, you kind of throw back the hide curtain, and it whirls around. Enemies, I can sense your fear, boy. What are you doing here? Where am I? As it turns back to you, Adlith.
Oh, don't worry. Egg's a friend. You are in the Chondawood, my home.
Leave. Tell him to leave. He turns to you. His head, like, kind of looking back behind his body.
Egg, you have to leave. I'm talking to Puppy.
For a second, there's no response.
It's
There's
looking
just
at
a-
you, and you just see this smoke kind of flowing from its nostrils, and it goes.
There's, as soon as I entered and made eye contact with this, my eyes have not left.
The egg hatched!
This isn't giant. You didn't tell me that it was a dragon.
No. The only person I told it was a dragon was Turen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, it's not a dog egg. I should have told you earlier.
I thought dog meant bird.
And so dog meant bird, which meant dragon. So dog meant dragon.
I said, tell it to leave.
Please go, Egg. I'll be fine.
I'm gonna just turn around and walk out.
At this point, as you kind of exit, you bump
I'm out of here.
right into Redrick.
Oh, everything all right in there?
Don't go in. And I'm just gonna and I don't care where I'm going. I'm just gonna walk away from the hut somewhere in the camp. I'm just walking somewhere. Probably to where like the main like bonfire was. Whether there's a fire there or not.
There is. There's some smolderings of a fire. It's not as raging as a bonfire was the night previous, but it seems like this fire is kept going probably throughout their stay here. So you go find a seat on one of the logs that were sitting around it. Redrick?
What the fuck is going on here? All right. I like look towards the tent. I look towards Egg. I'm just gonna open, like, at least peek in the curtain of the tent for like a second.
Okay.
Just see, like, maybe quietly. I don't know.
Okay.
Nah, not quietly. I don't really care. It's
You're not
just
quiet?
I know it's just Adlith and Lillian in there, right? As far as I know. So yeah, I'll just
at
like
this
peek in.
point, you see exactly what Egg sees, except it is not. Its focus is not on you. As you kind of peer in, you see a small adolescent red dragon. At this point, Adlith, it is turned back to you, and it's pacing, kind of in this very serpent-like way, kind of.
Are you hungry, Puppy?
It's just kind of gathering his surroundings. You see his eyes begin to wander around the hut.
May I ask a question? Does it
Sure.
seem aggressive? Like from what I can tell,
Give me an insight check.
like aggressive towards Adlith. That's a 16.
It's hard to tell. You've never really seen a dragon before, let alone an adolescent dragon. Adlith doesn't seem afraid. It seems to be kind of pacing back and forth in front of her, not attacking her for any reason. But it seems agitated in the same way, but it doesn't seem aggressive, right? And Adlith doesn't seem worried.
She's actually reaching in her bag for some like dried meats rations that she has, and she'll hold them out to Puppy.
Yeah, it seems like something she'd do even if it was aggressive towards her, though. I'm not gonna lie.
It gives a sniff to the meat and kind of whirls back, and almost you see its tail go through the fire and send sparks kind of flying in the air. So, you are to be my protector.
Yes, that's what moms do.
What god has played this trick on me? Seems to be talking to itself, not even really paying attention to you. And Redrick, you do not hear any of this.
Okay.
It is speaking solely to Adlith.
I don't follow any gods.
This cannot be. So
Hey, Adlith.
young.
There's a fucking dragon in the room with you. Wanna explain?
Puppy!
And who is this?
This is Redrick, puppy Redrick.
Within your mind, Redrick, you hear. Curious.
Say the same about you, buddy. So, not a dog egg. Or a bird?
Well, dog equals bird, which equals dragon, so dog equals dragon.
Understood.
Mhm.
And we're not concerned about the fact that there's a fucking dragon here, right?
No, it's my baby.
Obviously.
Everyone else fucked up right now. Not gonna lie. I don't know where Isaiah is. He just stormed out of the tent. Don't know what's going on there. So I'm just gonna hang out in here if that's cool.
Puppy, is that okay?
He kind of just like shakes his head. Young, weak, lost little fawn. As it turns back to you.
I'm
No.
not lost.
I will not accept this. The strength I was promised. Unless. Turns back to you in sort of this sly manner. Show me your hand. In your palm that you hold out, you see something that wasn't there before. Almost as if embers were sitting on your hand lightly, you see a symbol. What looks like a cross. At the tip of the cross is a triangle. And in where the cross would intersect is made of this odd-looking arrow. At the end, it kind of looks like a heart rate monitor, right? Like you see it kind of go up and down in a jagged manner, then it goes straight through the cross and ends in a point on this side as well. And it's burning as if embers were setting on your hand. And as you look at it, it fades into just this black scar on your hand. So it is true.
What does it mean?
It means you are cursed, girl.
That doesn't sound
Cursed.
good. Like, what kind of a curse?
We are bound, you and I. You will help me reach my goal. You and you alone.
Well, I've been with you for about 50 years already, so that, I guess we're stuck together.
Fortunately. So it kind of just paces, and it almost seems to be in thought as it does this little circle. As it sits next to you, almost like a dog in an upright position, as its two small wings kind of folded on its back, its tail curling around its body, and it stares right at you, Redrick.
Adlith will speak out in Draconic, and it's not as fluent as your other languages. And Adlith would have mentioned probably to Redrick that she's learning it, but sitting here with Puppy, she'll speak it. She'll say, "Are you guys related?"
And I'll probably respond and just like I'll look a little confused hearing that and be like, "Man, I haven't heard that in a while." But yeah, I think we are. Me and him. Met him a while back. Old cousin, third removed.
So you're like... She looks like she gets like this like really intense thinking face on her head. Does that make you my nephew? Is that the right term?
I think so. I think that's it. Yep.
I have family. I haven't had family in a long time.
In your head, Adlith, you hear, you do realize we are not related. You are not my mother.
But I raised you.
I was raised elsewhere. You are more of a caretaker. Redrick, you cannot hear this.
Caretaker, Mom. Same thing, right?
He seems like he's in thought. Does your friend know where he got those scars?
Redrick, where'd you get your scars from?
Mostly bar fights, as far as I'm aware. I mean, I got this one from and I'll just like go like point at a scar and just like got this one from a crazy bitch back in our bar. But long story short, nothing crazy I'm aware of.
Foolish boy. Are these who you associate with? You hear
Yeah.
inside your mind.
Okay, one, Redrick, you're foolish. And
I get that a
two, yeah, and there's 5 more of my friends. I'm not related to any of those ones like Redrick, though.
I will be pleased to meet them.
And do you want to go? Some of them are outside right now.
I go where you lead.
Okay. Okay, let's go. And
I don't know. Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Round two.
Outside.
Cutting back to Isaiah. It's probably been another 10 to 20 minutes that you have walked. What seems like in zigzags for you, best you can tell is 10-20 minutes, but you have no sense of direction. They seem to be taking you in all sorts of different directions. Left, right, left, right, left, right. So it's hard to judge which direction you were going as the sack was placed over your head. And eventually you can feel a coolness come over the air. And it's sort of a quiet as the sounds of the forest kind of dim. The floor from beneath or underneath your feet changes from this cushioned feeling to more of a stoned feeling. And eventually the sack is removed and you hear a torch being struck and lit as it burns next to you. You can see that you stand in the mouth of a large cave. The 2 centaur kind of flanking you at this point. Simonius holding the torch as the flame kind of glitters off of his golden helm.
This feels more like home. Except there's a lot less shit in this one. One second, just let me. That was a lot of walking. It's been a while. I guess. Wait, still not time for questions, right? No, wait, that was a question. Shit.
Follow me. As he just, you hear his hooves kind of clacking off of the stonework. As he leads you down what looks like crafted stairs and into the stonework. It is not a naturally formed stairway. It seems to be crafted of some sort. And as you are walking further and further downward into this cave, you begin to see what looks like writing on the walls. All this odd-looking script. What languages do you speak?
Be common and Dwarvish and Goblin.
Okay, you do not recognize this text that is kind of scrolled on the walls both beside you. And as you get farther and farther down, you can see these little inlets, or these little sections that have been carved out. These lit candles. And the wax has been slowly melted over time. That kind of drips over the ledge of the window. What's odd to you is the candles are lit with a blue flame. as this odd kind of blue light filters through this cavern as you get farther and farther down.
Very interesting. He's taking very specific note of the writings to see if he could at least get little bits to memorize and record later.
Sure.
But they're just regular candles with blue flame.
Yep.
Oh, he is paying very close attention now to how everything is put together.
A little bit further, you continue to walk down, and the stairway eventually ends into this small hallway, probably about 6 feet or so, and it's kind of crammed as one of the centaur that was behind you stops about halfway up the stairway, and it's only you and Simonius at this point. He sets his torch in a holder on the wall, and in front of you, you can see this beautifully crafted doorway. It looks like it's made of pure steel, but it glimmers also. And you see this big ring sort of on the right side of the door, which would be, the handle to pull it open. But on it, you see a sculpted picture of this beautiful tree. It almost resembles an oak in size, but the way that the branches are kind of structured, it almost would be like a oak mixed with like a weeping willow. The branches seem to go out in this beautiful fashion, but also come back down. No leaves on the branches. It's bare. We are here. Now, before I let you enter, I will tell you this was under grandmother's wishes, not mine. This place is sacred. Remember that. And as he kind of steps in front of you, he grabs the handle of the door and pulls it back.
I'll look up at him and be like, "Don't worry. I hold nothing more sacred than anything else. So this will be treated with just as much respect as everything I encounter. And I thank your grandmother. If not you, then." And he'll put a hand on the door just to get a feel and see if he can actually tell whether or not it's like an actual metal he knows or something special as he walks through.
Okay. Just give me a general intelligence check. You can have advantage on it.
That's not. That's slightly worse. So I'll go with the 19 plus 3 is 22.
22. This is indeed a metal you know, and at first glance, it did look like steel. But it is indeed silver, just very, very aged.
Oh,
Probably over thousands of years does a silver turn this color. Darkened by age, essentially. But just the way it kind of tinges on your fingers, when you rub your hands across it, you can
Yeah.
tell the softness to the silver. And as the door is opened, after you say these things to Simonius, he continues, and he's using both hands. It is definitely a heavy door as he kind of backs away. You asked where we got our armaments. Well, we will show you. The door is pulled back, and as it is pulled back, you see, first, your face is just blue light. As you see, kind of, the first thing you see is a giant forge in the back wall. The room itself is not too big. It's probably about 100 square foot. But you see this massive forge that a gigantic blue flame roars inside of it.
oh.
And in the center of the room, you see a massive anvil made of pure silver. You can see there are tools set on the anvil for smithing. And all around you, you see these beautifully crafted weaponry and armor. Swords, spears, javelins, everything that you can see. You also see multiple sets of what looks like the same thing that Simonius wears. Only the most gifted are allowed to wear the armor of the Forge. It has only ever been one of us at a time. We believe it is an ancient armory of the elves. But there's been no record. It's just our assumption. And he kind of steps past you. For generations, my people have always chosen a champion to wear the gear that you see that I adorn. But today, Grandmother grants you this. An opportunity. As he pulls out a small little pouch. And he kind of places it. This is a gift. He looks like he's about to hand it to you.
I pick my jaw up off the floor and put it on my hands.
He drops it in your hand, and it's like, ooh! You have to kind of hold it. It's pretty heavy. Grom, you hear him say from behind him. And the other centaur you hear. This, well, let's just say she said you would know what to do with this. And you hear Grom kind of, he's carrying a large sack that he's had at the side of his waist. He kind of throws it. Oomph. You hear a large thud kind of hit the ground, sending dust kind of flying in the air. All of the things that you need are here. When you are finished, we will be waiting. Do not remove anything that you are not supposed to. Do not touch anything that you think you are not supposed to. If you do, you will be executed here on the spot. Grandmother trusts you. Do not break that trust. And he kind of turns around and trots off through the door.
There are so many. There are no fewer things I hold in high regard than. Oh, I need. Oh, but what should name's second project first? I got. Okay. Oh crap! I wish Grandfather was here. He would be able to. That's fine. That's fine. I can do that tomorrow. It's okay. I can. And then he just starts running everywhere. Look, very careful not to touch almost anything, but he starts running around looking at everything. He checks out all the tools, makes sure they're right, they're whole, they're solid, the anvil, the blue flint as is going to be. And then he opens up whatever sack was being carried by Grom.
Yeah, so the sack itself is actually quite large. And you open it and you see what looks like a skeleton of some sort. Kind of shocked at the moment. You pull the sack down over the skeleton, but the skeleton itself is made of metal. It looks like silver. The same kind of coloration that the door has, though, this darkened silver. But this isn't a skeleton of a human. It almost looks like a skeleton of an ape. With this massive head, kind of this, you can see two large canines kind of sitting up. Its jaw, and it kind of just lays there lifeless. This sort of skeleton of this metal skeleton of an ape. Give me an investigation check as you're kind of perusing through here as well.
Alrighty. No, he's the one that was good before. That's not as good. That's only a 10.
Okay. All of the arms and armament you see are beautiful. They seem to be crafted in what looks like a gold. It's a lot of gold and silver here has been used.
Yep.
But you can tell that it is all aged. You can see that the weathering has begun to happen on all these weapons and armor. It hasn't been really kept for. It doesn't seem like even the centaur that know about this place use it or use any of the armor here. A lot of it doesn't even look like it is made for centaur. It looks like they would be fit a human or an elf, like he said. But there are some sets of armor that would fit a centaur, very similar to what I said Simonius wears. But also, and this is hard to miss, so with a 10 you're able to see this, what looks like a massive helm that sits in one of the corners, and it's very hard to miss. And now, when I say massive, it would fit the head of a giant of some sort. Like, it is
Yes.
massive, and it is made out of that same gold material that Simonius wears on his head. So whatever or whoever was crafting down here was crafting for all sorts of creature and being.
Okay, so he would probably spend the first half hour sitting down with a book, sketching everything, all of the best pieces that he can find, and some of the most fantastic ones. And then once he's got that set, he's like, okay, later, puts that aside, grabs the skeleton, and hauls the entire thing on his back over between the anvil and the forge and goes, you're going to need muscles and eyes. And starts grabbing up the materials and takes all of the tools that are around and actually sets them aside and pulls out the smith's tools he specifically made the day before while he was in camp. And he's like, all right, let's see if we can put you to good use. And starts hammering away at whatever he's got in his head.
Okay. Two things. As you begin your work, you notice, as you begin to stoke the flame that is in the massive forge that is powered by this blue flame, you see no kindling or coal or anything that it is burning itself. It seems to be its own entity. And when you open it, it is a heat that you have never felt before. Unlike any forge that you have slaved over before in your life. A heat so strong that even you are afraid to get near it. And you can see your tools begin to get red in the heat, even before they are inserted into the flame. As you begin to hammer away and shape this, whatever you are deciding to do, as you shape your creation, that little sack that he had given you begins to you feel it and almost hear it on your waist.
I want to finish. There are too many things. What? And he'll open up the sack to see what's in there. What's distracting him from his work.
Sure. Inside, you see an odd-looking gem, about this size, and it's glowing while pulsing. With this blue light. Upon closer inspection, as you kind of pull it out, you feel that this thing is hot. It's not just a light, but it looks like it is a flame. It seems to be trying to kindle itself. You see these little blue sparks and flickers of a flame kind of shoot in and inside this rock. And it's warm to the touch. Almost you have to set it down on the anvil. Give me an intelligence check. Add your proficiency modifier to it.
Plus 5 is 24.
24. You know exactly how you could use this. With a little bit of polishing, a little bit of work, this is what is going to give your creation life. And you begin to work. The rest of you are going to head back to the camp. As Adlith and Redrick walk out, what is known as Puppy walking next to you. You see him as the kind of light hits his face. In your head, Adlith, I've not seen the light in some time.
Well, you were an egg.
beginning to like you.
Oh, yay!
The rest
Oh.
of you will, in your stupors, kind of hearing Adlith kind of perk up, turn around, and at this point, Puppy shrinks back, kind of in an odd way as he sees the two that are still kind of near the hut, almost hiding behind you in a way, but also curiously peeking around both legs, blowing smoke out of his nostrils. Another two of your companions.
Which ones are they? Egg and
It's Calder and Castus that are
Calder,
closest.
okay. Yeah, they are. Calder, Castus, come meet Puppy.
Calder is still unresponsive.
Castus will kind of look and be like, "What the fuck?"
Earl,
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
you do know that my name is not Puppy.
It's not.
It is not.
What's your name?
My name is Othir, and I prefer that you refer me to that name.
But I like Puppy.
No response.
It's
rock,
it's
rock,
a
paper, scissors.
What? Where did this come from?
Othyr, by the way.
Othir. Okay. Adlith kind of juts out her bottom lip in a pout, and she says, "Are you fine? Okay, I guess. I thought moms got to pick the names of their babies, but I guess not."
I'll just look at the cast like they're doing a whole talk in your mind thing. You'll get used to it.
Where did it come from?
Oh, the egg. I'm sorry,
Castus
Castus.
know
I
about
lied. It
dragons?
wasn't. I lied. It wasn't a dog or a bird.
How much would I know about dragons?
Roll me a nature check.
Oh, I'm so good at nature. Let's see if I can get a decent die. Okay, come on. Ooh, that is an 8.
Not much, other than what you've heard in storybooks, especially about red dragons.
What the? That thing's gonna eat you! It's gonna eat us!
No. I'm his friend. He likes me.
All of you just hear a low growl as it seems like to be growling at you. At this point, when you say that, Castus, you feel something bump up against your leg.
Oh.
Oh God. I look down. I look over.
It's Draco.
Oh, thank God. I kind of pick him up and I just kind of just hold him and just scritch his head and I fall back onto my butt. And it's like, oh, thank God. Okay.
Kinda-
Okay. Nope.
He wiggles and. You can give me a strength check if you want to try to hold on to him.
I have to beat a cat.
Grapple the
Come on.
cat. It's impossible.
Grapple the
Give
cat.
us a-
-1 modifier.
Give us a snuggle check,
no.
Snuggle check.
With a -1, I rolled a 1.
You hold on, and he just kind of scratches you, and you let go. He turns back and hisses at you, kind of in a snooty little. He trods over to Puppy or Othir, and you see Othir kind of curiously. And they kind of get close, and they almost boop noses. See Draco kind of sit.
I'm watching this very closely.
He's not gonna eat that cat, is he?
Othir, are you going to eat the cat?
I don't think so.
Okay.
His head turns to look at it.
And I swear to whatever gods there are, I will gut that thing if it eats my cat.
And it goes, Othir, you see it. He goes, and Draco kind of yelps, and it runs back to you, Cassis, and sits in your lap.
He said he wasn't gonna eat it. I
Pick up this
asked.
cat.
That's the thing.
And
hear in
I
your
leave the
mind.
camp. I head to the woods.
Oh, here, let's go meet Calder. She's gonna.
Calder's a
she's gonna-
little out of it right now. I don't. You can give it a shot. I tried.
Okay.
Poke him with a stick.
Atlas is gonna go stand directly in front of Calder. Hey, Calder. I have a friend that I want you to meet because you're my friend too. This is Puppy.
He's just like staring through you almost.
Do you not feel good? I can cast some magic. We're magic buddies, remember? Puppy, can you nuzzle him?
Is he literally just standing there unmoving?
Mm-hmm.
Can I just get like a pile of little pebbles? And just like from far away, just like
Tink.
At this
yeah.
point, you feel.
So you toss a pebble at me?
Yeah.
Make a dexterity check for me, Calder. Or not Calder, but
Oh yeah, sure.
let's roll
It's a
D20 as your
14.
dexter.
14.
He's not moving.
Hmm.
You feel something kind of hit your shoulder and roll off.
The second that touches me, pull out the great sword. I turn around to look at him, and my eyes are covered over with like inky black shadow. And I just stare at you and like shake, holding the sword for a second.
I'll drop the pebbles like, oh shit! Calm down! Whoa, 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 whoa!
You hear within your voice, Adlith.
He's not usually like this.
The shadow just starts to slowly like pull back. Sheathe the sword, and I just walk off into the woods.
It was a small pebble. I didn't think it hurt that bad.
Redrick, why'd you do that?
I was just trying to get his attention. I didn't throw it that hard. I could have thrown it harder.
Oh, wait, where's Ren? She's gonna look around. I really want you to meet Ren.
Just as an aside, DM, whenever you get to it, let me know. I do have something I want to do in the woods.
Okay. Sure. Perception check, Adlith. Give me a
Super
stealth
wood.
check,
Oh.
Ren, if you would like.
19 plus 9.
Plus
Oh,
9?
28.
Plus 9. 28. I have
can't-
expertise.
Myself can't beat that, but I'm in the woods up a tree.
Yeah, well, even with that perception check, Adlith, you do not see her anywhere within the camp. But something you do see is from peeking behind a hut that is, you kind of look past Egg and past the fire, you see a satyr, a familiar satyr, as his eyes kind of meet yours, and he darts behind the hut once again.
Oh. Well, Ren must be outside at camp. Come on, puppy. And she's going to. Oh, and as she passes Egg, she says, "Egg, we're gonna go look for Ren, okay?"
This is low growl.
And Giant, I'll quietly say, "Be safe." But it is, I was relaxed, and then having to hear your voice, and then the growl, like I just sort of like you can see me just sort of like tense up,
Oh,
and then I respond.
okay.
As we-
She's gonna. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as we walk by, I'll just say I don't want to say anything. I'll just sit down around the campfire instead. I'll just like keep going. Like, good luck with that. I'll be over here.
Okay. Atlas is gonna detour to the hut on the way out that the satyr was behind.
We're gonna go to Ren at this point, since everyone's kind of split up. Ren, you decided to find yourself a tree. Did you want to do anything in said tree, or what are you doing?
So she climbed up there. She got as high as she can go, really, and just found a branch that she can like lean on, or found a branch that she can sit on, and then just kind of like lean against the tree. With the dream in her mind, she's really quickly gonna pull out a dagger and check her hair, and just
Interesting. Good.
make sure just see what's going on there.
It's the same color.
Okay.
Hmm.
And then thinking back on the dream and thinking back specifically to the last part where she heard the name over and over, was that Briar's voice the entire time?
Yes. But also no. There's a voice you recognized, but give me an insight check. You can have advantage on this.
Okay. Slightly better. That is going to be a 13.
13. So it was definitely Briar's voice as you remember it the last time you saw him, but it began to change towards the end. Still recognizable, but different. Almost older. In the way a man's voice changes as he grows. Whether it was Briar's voice throughout the entire thing, it was hard to tell. But there was definitely a recognizable change in the voice.
Did it sound like my dad?
Not quite. It was
Didn't sound like Logan.
no.
Okay.
Almost as if Briar had aged as he continued to scream Rose.
And with that 13, can I tell, did the sound of the scream, did it sound like he was calling out to me for help?
With a 13, it's hard to tell.
Okay. Yeah, that's the gist, and she's just gonna kind of sit up there quietly by herself for a few.
Colder, go ahead.
So I'm gonna walk 50 feet or so into the woods, just get like a little bit away from the encampment. I'm gonna pull out of my pack a torch and get it lit, stick it in the ground, and kneel down in front of it. And thinking back to, I think it was the day before when I healed Eggfall, and I saw that like brief flash of silver flame in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to channel some lay on hands into the torch and see
Okay.
if I can get it to turn silver.
So you kind of focus that same energy. You place your hand near the torch, close your eyes, and you open them. And when you do, the torch's flame is not changed, but you see within your hands, both hands are now enveloped in this silvery black flame. Kind of in a brief, you look and they extinguish. It was like this mixture, if you would look between like a clash of silver and black, almost a flame made of that color.
Okay.
Intertwining together, right?
So I kind of look at my hands for a minute, put them down on my knees, and stare into the fire. Not sure what I've been cast out of, but I do know why. I know I don't deserve the hand you've extended me. I know it's too late for redemption, but I swear to you, one day I'll go back. One day, I'll face he who was and tear down the evil I built when I'm strong enough. Until then, my lady, I would ask for guidance. Help me to know you, to understand your way, the way, so that I might better direct my wrath upon your enemies, so that I might enact our vengeance, so that this broken, bloody thing might find a way to do justice and good above all. I stare into the fire, just hoping for a response.
You stare, kind of, the flame kind of just burning in front of you and crackling as the torch begins to dim a little bit. You wait. 5 minutes, 10 minutes,
I
nothing.
pull the torch out, flip it upside down, and just stick it in the dirt to put it out. Patience, Calder. Not my strong suit. And get up, and I'll head back to the others.
Cassis, are you doing anything special while you're in the woods?
Well, he is just cursing the stupid dragon. Is Draco hurt at all on his little face?
No, he wasn't injured in any way. He was just what seemed like frightened. He was more frightened.
Okay, it's okay, buddy. I kind of just scratch him and kind of just find a little space between me and the camp, and I kind of sit down with him, kind of bring him up and look at his face, and like, oh, you're okay, little buddy. It's okay, buddy. I had a really, really bad. This has been a really bad morning, and I tell you a secret. I saw Dad. I don't know how. I don't know in what way that's even possible, but I saw him, and technically I saw you too, but it was kind of, no offense to you before you. No, when Draco won, and I don't know. I don't know what's going on. That was just so weird and real, and there's so much I wanted to say to him. Mother told me so much about him when she was sober, and I wanted to talk to him, but he was gone so fast, and there's so much. I just wanted to stay there and just be with him. I don't know why. I mean, it has to be something in that water. It just has to be something ridiculous, because there's no way I would know what happened that night. I don't know. I know, buddy. Maybe I just put this past me. You know what? That's what I've been doing for my entire life. Just put the shit behind me and just keep going forward. That's what Aldous always said. Just keep on going forward, and that's what I'm going to do. So come on, buddy. We're just going to go, pretend everything's fine, and just push down that shit, because that's what I know how to do.
He leaps off your laugh.
Oh, hey. Let's go. And I take a deep breath, And I put my hand like, instinctively on the pistol, but I kind of draw back a little bit, kind of clenching my hand as if I did not like the touch of it. Instead, I kind of said, open up the other side of my coat, which is that my duster has always been kind of, I'm a righty, so I know it's always there, but there's actually a short sword on the left, and I just kind of put my left hand on the short sword, and so I just, okay, let's go, and I just kind of walk back to camp.
As you all are beginning to reconvene, Adlith, at this point, you approach the hut where you saw the satyr peeking around. Just about where you get to the corner where you saw him peeking, he jumps out. Hello. Good to see you again. It's Fennec in his fancy little red vest that he wears. You see behind him, along the side of the hut, is a large, what looks like pack that has a small little bedroll on the top, and it seems full. He almost looks like he's about to go for a long hike or something like that with a large walking stick, kind of leaning up, so I guess. And he's just staring at Puppy.
Hi, Fennec. Is there something I can do for you? You were looking at me.
So it is true. Another Drake Warden.
Another?
May I? And he looks at Puppy.
If he bites your hand off, it's not my fault.
My, aren't you beautiful? He kind of approaches slowly to Puppy and puts his hand out. And you see Othir do something very odd as he puts his head down. Lets Fennec touch him. It really is true. Kind of looks at his hand.
Do you? And Adlith will show her palm with the...
Oh, heavens, no. There's only only a few that I know of who've ever had what you have. It's quite a gift. He is quite beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Where are the others? I see some of them, at this point there's only like 2 of you sitting around the campfire.
Good eye.
3 of you.
Some of them had bad dreams, I think. I think that's what's wrong. I'm gonna go into the woods to find them.
Right. I'm surprised that you all have lived. Many who taste the waters of the grove, well, let's just say they don't always survive. Anyway, whenever you all are ready, I need to have a word with all of you. There's one thing on our agenda, and I think you all might be interested. Find me in this hut, and he kind of points to it, when you all are ready. Okay?
Okay. I'll let everybody know as I find them. I have no idea where Ren is or Isaiah. So I gotta go find them. And then Calder also walked off. And same with Castus. So I don't really... I'm gonna go look for them. Come on, Othir. Puppy Othir, come on.
Can I offer a piece of advice as you're kind of walking away?
Oh, yeah.
One at a time. If you begin to look for all of them all at once, you may get lost.
I don't get lost, but thank you.
Well, all right then. Straightens his vest.
She is going to look for Ren first, though.
Okay.
You might see me walking back about that time.
Oh,
Imagine.
Calder. Your eyes aren't black anymore. That's good.
What?
Oh, you got
pardon?
really mad when Redrick threw a rock at you. I would get mad if someone threw a rock at me, too.
Yeah, I'm real sorry about that, darling.
It's okay. I wanted you to meet Puppy.
Othir.
Orthir.
It's like I'm just seeing him for the first time. I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay.
Kind of, you see this long red neck and face kind of peer from behind Adlith as he steps out.
Dog egg. Yep, that's
I lied. I'm sorry. It
Yeah.
wasn't a dog.
right. Thank you. Well, shit. Hello.
fine, Ren and the others.
Yeah. Yep.
The satyr in the red vest, Finnick, he wants to talk to us. So I was gonna let you know if you could sit with Egg and Redrick at the fire while I collect the others. Then we can all go talk to him.
Right. Sure. Yep. And I go.
This thing just kind of follows you with its eyes.
Let's find Ren. I think you'll like Ren. She knows you're a dragon. She's the only one I told.
Very well.
And Adlith will go. She's kind of focusing on like listening. The ears.
Give me a
are-
perception check with advantage.
Ooh. Oh, okay. That's a dirty 20. 11 plus 9.
Are you still trying to be hidden, Ren?
Yeah, I don't really want to be found right now.
Okay. Got a random stealth check for me.
That is a 15.
As you're kind of searching, you're really not too sure what to look for. But you hear something kind of, just a light scrape, from above you, and as you look up, you see a foot dangling, kind of, lazily on a branch, way, way, way up high in the tree.
Ren? Is that you?
Kind of startled.
Yeah.
There's someone I want you to meet.
Okay, Adlith, I'll come back to camp when I'm ready.
But
I'm
it's-
not really feeling really well. Just give me a few minutes, okay?
Do you want a berry? They make people feel better.
No, I'm good. I just need some time by myself.
It's Puppy.
Nice to meet you, Puppy.
You look around, Adlith, and he's not next to you.
Puppy? Where'd you go?
Ren, you hear, and
Oh.
just on a branch just above you, you see this like figure, this red dragon, kind of sitting up next to you, and it kind of leans down off the branch, and you see it as it jumps down. And Adlith, you see it run back to you.
Oh, you're a good climber, Puppy. Did you see him?
Yep. I imagine that's a dragon, alright.
Yeah, remember I told you it was a dragon.
Yep, I remember. Okay, I'll be down when I'm ready.
Okay, Fennec wants to talk to us, so don't be too long.
Okay, when I'm ready. Thank you.
Okay. Bye, Ren. I'll miss you.
Okay, bye.
Okay.
I
Okay,
sense
now-
a worry in her.
Yeah, she seems off. Usually she's really nice to me. I think she's my best friend, so I'm kind of sad she doesn't want to talk to me.
Hmm.
Do you want to be my best friend too?
In time, possibly.
Okay. We have to go find Castus, the grumpy one with the cat.
I don't like that thing.
His name's Draco, but he doesn't look like a dragon, so I think it's a funny name. But then again, your name is Puppy, and you don't look like a puppy either.
My name's...
Oh my god. Do you remember
He's
what
already
they
giving up.
do you remember what they smell like? Can you track them? We can work together?
see. I cannot.
That's okay.
Kind of, you see him kind of confused. I'm still getting used to the smells.
That's okay. There's a lot of smells in the forest. Some good, some bad. But okay. I'll take a look. I'll take a look. And she kind of starts
Double
looking
check.
at the ground for footprints to like see if she can find like cat prints too, because those aren't very common in the woods. Okay, that wasn't a very good roll.
What?
Uh,
For Adlith?
It was a 7.
Wasn't a very
I
good roll. It
rolled.
was only a natural 20.
7 total?
No. 7
Fly.
plus 9.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's a
16.
bad roll.
Only a 16. God.
It takes you a little bit. You have to kind of make a small perimeter around the camp until you see what looks like signs of cat prints in the dampened ground forest floor. And whenever you find them, Othir looks down and he kind of looks back up to you. Impressive.
Thank you. Tracking is something that I do a lot of.
Well, let's go find that pesky cat.
Yeah.
At that point, I probably just walking by and I round a tree and just see see Adler's like, Jesus.
Hi.
Hi.
Adlith kind of senses that her presence isn't really that welcome. She kind of, you see the shy Adlith take over for a moment. Her eyes duck, her hands fold behind her back, and she says, Finnick wants to talk to everyone, back at camp.
Okay. Thank you for telling me. And he kind of walks by and he pauses for a second, looks at her and like, thank you. And he kind of pats her shoulder and walks towards camp.
She nods and waits a bit so she's not following him directly, so he has space, and then she'll say, okay. Now where the fluff is Isaiah? And she's
I don't know. I've never met him.
She's, she doesn't know that he was let off to some weird forge. She's gonna be looking in the woods for him.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear.
No one track us. Oh, I found tracks.
All right. Give me a perception check.
Okay.
I'm gonna DC reset real quick. I'm having connection issues.
Sure.
23.
Okay. We'll get back to that in a moment. Eventually, well, we'll just start with this. You do see signs of tracks leading out of the camp. A pair of centaurs and deep boot prints of a man. So you would assume that is Isaiah, kind of leading out of the northern part of the camp.
Just start following.
Okay. Give me a survival check.
Okay, what is my 7? 7 plus 7. That's 14, right?
We'll get back to it in a little bit. Isaiah.
Okay. By this point, he's probably got both his hair and his beard tied up with leather thongs. Shirtless, you can see like all the way up to the elbow. He's got no arm hair because it's all just burned away working in forges. And he's pounding away, layering pieces and materials, and he's got the blue flame stone sitting near the skeleton. But he's not quite ready to put it in yet. He's building up from like the center cavity that looks about the right size for it. But he's waiting to set it for the last piece. It's probably been a while. But so he'll go through and he will set up get everything organized and ready to go. And the last piece will be fitting this gem into the somewhat cavity at the center of the heart, at the center of the beast, and walk away. And
Give me one more intelligence check and add your proficiency modifier, please.
sure. Oh, that one's all right. Metal from metal gods. If it will still stay. Try that again. There we go. Not so bad. 22.
22. Continue.
And then at the last piece, he will take. He will take out of his pack. Hammer, Smith's hammer, nice like 2-pound sledge with chiseled back, completely handmade, out of one piece of steel. And with a couple of initials of DS on the bottom of it. And we'll use that, wind up, and smack the blue flame to release it into, to set it into place and release its energy into the shape he's created.
Okay. So as you give this strike to the stone and kind of set it in its place, you ding, you hear this like loud connection, and the place fills with blue sparks, and as they kind of die down, you shield your face for a moment, and as your eyes kind of readjust, you see the flame almost as if it burst free of the gem, and it slowly begins to dwindle. You see there's almost like this little fire. And you know at this point it is time to close the breastplate. And you kind of do. And you forge it like you normally would, using your magical abilities. You begin to meld the metal together. And you make the connection. And as you do, you can see within the eye sockets of this creature, you see them glowing. This blue faint glow. And they almost have this like flicker to them as if they were from flame. And then inside you hear for a moment a roar, almost like a forge. And then it kind of dies down. And if you want to explain what your creation looks like, it now has life.
Oh man, I am sorry, Ren. There's going to be another big one. It's about 7 feet tall and 4 feet wide at the shoulder, with arms that go all the way down to the ground, like an 8. It's got a somewhat flat face and looks shaped almost like an orangutan, where it's tight around the shoulders and the chest, and then slightly larger around the gut, where it's got a nice low center of gravity and shorter legs, and it's heavy plates around like its arms and its shoulders and its elbows, and in between are these like inch-thick steel cords just braided and woven till they become muscle fibers across all of it. And it looks up, and I say, well, and he says, oh, you are going to be my best. And he takes the old hammer in his hand and says, thank you. You started this all. And he places the hammer on the anvil. It says, and now you'll be a part of so many more wonderful things. And then he goes to the door and knocks or opens it or walks out with his friend
Your
following
massive
behind.
creation kind of stands up, and you hear ting, ting, as the metal hits the stone floor, and it just follows you.
Oh yeah, we are never gonna be quiet again. That's fine.
And,
And he,
good.
he takes one last look around, and his hands sort of itch, but then he takes a deep breath and leaves.
Simonius and Grom, they're actually waiting for you at the mouth of the cave. So you and your contraption, your companion, meet them at the top. And at a moment, for a moment, I guess, Simonius is definitely startled as he kind of backs up in a shock. I've never seen. He just kind of turns around. Are you ready then?
You would be amazed at the things I have yet to make. We're done. Thank you. And thank Grandmother for
He just kind of gives you a nod. Let's head back. It's beginning to get late. It's been about like 2 or 3 hours at this point that Isaiah has been gone. As you begin to walk back, Isaiah, about another hour, Adlith, you pick up with your ears. They perk up, and you see off in the distance, first the glittering armor of Sabonius, behind him, Isaiah, and behind him, another centaur. But walking next to Isaiah is this massive ape-like creature, kind of walking next to him.
What is that? Puppy, do you know what that is?
I do not.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll ask. Hey, Isaiah!
At this point, you see Adlith.
He's still got everything tied up and shirt off because he was dripping sweat. So he's probably still just coming in like, oh, hey, how's it going? Oh, is everybody there? We got him? Everybody's like talking again?
Oh, yes. Except Ren won't come out of a tree. Oh, yeah. I have a friend too. You have one as well.
Oh yeah, that's true. That Adlith, meet Ook. Ook Adlith.
Hi, Ook. Isaiah, Puppy, or Orthier if you want, but it's Puppy. Othier, Isaiah, and Orc. Orc?
Ook.
Ook.
He's gonna be my librarian.
What's that?
He's gonna record all of the things I make.
Oh, okay, cool.
That nice to meet you, Puppy.
Kind of shies away as you get near him, and kind of scoots behind Adlith. At this point, he runs around Simonius, who, curiously enough, doesn't seem startled by Othir's presence. He just kind of looks down at the young dragon as it walks past him, and it kind of sniffs Ook a little bit and just kind of walks like underneath him and around and through his legs. And you can see he's inspecting him very curiously.
Well, Ook, say hello. And he just raises a hand and then puts it back down.
So,
As
is
it does
he
it,
like?
with like a thud, you see Othir kind of back up, and he scurries back to you, Adlith.
Yeah, Adlith jumps a bit at the loud noise, and she says, "So, is he like your baby?"
No. Children have a lot more. Children are a lot more trouble. Ook is actually going to behave for me.
I'm a mom now.
That is a great responsibility.
Yes. Luckily, he already knows how to talk.
It's always easier that way. But just wait. Next thing they learn is how to talk back.
Or he already knows how to do that. Also, and then as they start walking, and as they're just like chatting, maybe like 10 minutes in, Adlith pipes up and says, "Do you know I'm related to Redrick now?"
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I
Oh,
haven't.
if you stood next to Redrick, stood next to Puppy, then you'd have the full spectrum.
Yeah. I haven't had real family in like a long time, so I'm really excited to have Redrick.
Oh.
Do you mind if I touch you real quick? Or
Yeah?
do you mind if I touch you in general? Okay. He's gonna put a hand on your shoulder and hold you close for that like side hug and be like, family is something you make, not just something you have. And you've made a good start here. Hopefully we'll make a lot more as we go.
She just immediately like wraps her arms around Isaiah in a big hug and says, "You remind me of my dad."
Take that as a high compliment.
And she
Let's see if the others need a little bit of hugs too.
Oh.
I want to give Ren a hug, but she didn't really want me around.
Well, sometimes not everything can be worked through with other people. Sometimes you gotta work it through yourself, and then you can work it through with other people. It's not fun. It's not gonna be good, but it's just a matter of time. And then eventually you can work on it together. Every burden can be shared, but sometimes it takes a little bit of time to work out how.
Can I tell you something?
Anything.
She leans in and whispers in his ear, "I like Ren."
I think that's a great choice.
Yeah.
We'll have to make sure she's got plenty of reason to stick around then.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if she likes Puppy though, and
I mean, to be fair, it's a new thing. New things always take a little time to settle.
Okay. Thank you for you. I'm happy you and you, Egg, and Redrick were okay because the other three were not. So I'm really glad that I was like not like alone. Although you were gone for a while, but I tracked you down. That was a windy path that they took.
Yeah, I almost lost track myself, but there was something about keeping it secret because it's all sacred and shit. But it's fine. We yeah, being on your own isn't. This is better.
I don't want to be alone again.
Hey, you've got Puppy now. You'll never be alone again. That's what children means.
Yeah, I'm branded now.
That's less good. Does they not recognize the symbol at all, or is it completely out of it? Anything you would have
Give
seen?
me a history check.
Oh, let's make sure. Yep. Oh, that's 18.
With an 18, you have never seen this symbol before. It's very simple in design, right? Just a triangle sitting on top of a cross with an arrow, sort of causing the T.
That is, well, all of our experiences mark us in some way. I suppose that's more direct than usual, but it didn't hurt, did it?
No.
Excellent, excellent. Nobody wants to see you getting hurt.
No. Okay, let's head back to camp. Maybe everybody's collected. Fennec, the satyr with the red vest. I think he has a mission for us.
On top of this is the way it goes. There's always another mission.
Yeah.
All right, let's go see what he's got for us.
Mm-hmm.
Come along, Ook.
Okay, so with expediency in mind, I'm assuming that eventually you all gather at the campfire. Ren probably a little bit later, maybe even waiting until the point where all of you see Simonius, Grum, and Ook, Adlith, and her puppy all kind of return, and all of you are startled by this massive metallic ape that walks very closely to Isaiah. Kind of, you guys hear it coming. And at this point, Simonius kind of walks almost to all of you, but mainly acknowledging Isaiah. It was very... how do I say this? It was a pleasure. I don't know if we will see each other again, but I wish you luck. I have many responsibilities. Farewell, all of you.
Oh, we're just good to go.
I am not holding you here any longer. The Green Braids wish you luck. And he turns around, and you see him ride off, sort of to the west of where you guys had entered before, and out of sight. The centaur, the Green Braids, are nowhere to be seen. At this point, you see Fennec. What is that? You see his head kind of peek out behind the curtain. My lord, mother help me. He kind of walks out. Oh, I don't even think I'm going to ask. Hi, all of you. How are you? He kind of awkwardly makes this hi to all of you. Ren, did you come back to the fire yet? Or are you still doing your thing?
She probably only waited like half an hour after Adlith left,
Okay.
and then came back.
I could tell from inside that you all are rather talkative. No?
To most people, you did sort of sick your friend Centaur on us.
Listen, I had a reason.
We know.
Let's just
Speaking
say,
of reasons, do we have the go ahead to visit Luith Arid?
listen, Mr. Sirius, I was getting to it. And he kind of pulls out a pack behind the curtain, and as he steps out, he rummages in it for a little while. He pulls out this, what looks like a scroll, and he looks at it in front of him, holds it in front of him,
Is that
kind of looks past all of you.
a map?
Right.
Directions?
Wow, you are so observant, thank you.
I'm just
Ahem.
asking the
I,
questions.
Fennec, have been designated to take all of you to the Ghostwise Halflings to gain permission to Luith Erin,
Dear
that a-
God, it's pompous.
the Grove.
Yay!
We leave
Thank you.
immediately.
Yay.
Hey, I thought we just got
Terrific.
permission. What was that old shit back there?
Well, you got permission to leave. We have to gain permission from the Halflings to even let them guide us to the Grove. Of course, I know where it's at, but if we decided to show up uninvited,
Okay, wait, wait, wait,
Probably
wait,
oughta-
wait, 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 wait,
So all that-
wait.
That shit with the
We
that was
water.
not. Yep.
That wasn't permission. That was just us, you doing something to us, and
Well,
now
I
we
didn't
have to
do
go
anything,
ask
but
more permission to go to a place that you don't even technically have permission to go to in the first place. Is that what I'm getting?
I
dear
think-
mother, excuse you, but this
I-
tone is just very uncomfortable. Do you want to make it to the Grove or not?
Yep. Let's go. Can we?
I-
How about we head out
let's
now?
Go. Yes,
It's
I
please.
think
my
water-
choice for you to drink the water.
I think water rite of passage,
Listen to the big one.
like ceremony,
Right.
prove
That's fine.
self.
Can we go?
Are you going to say please?
Please.
Please.
Would
can
you say or
kindly
else?
take us?
Would you kindly lead us to the gnomes?
Halflings.
Please.
Well, the would you kindly is sort of my please.
Mhm. Of course.
Right.
He kind of reaches down and he hefts this big pack that kind of sticks way over his height. Right. Are we ready then? And at this point, it's about mid-afternoon. Isaiah, you were gone for about 2 or 3 hours. You all woke up pretty early in the morning. Well, woke up after your little ayahuasca trip. So, well, it's going to be a few days' journey to get to the Halflings. Well, yeah, a few days. Well, it depends. They move around a lot. I know where they might be going, where they are. It's an odd situation. They never stay in one place. So it could be a day, could be 2 days, could be a month, who knows? Are we ready?
Are you
Yep.
usually this unsure in your guiding abilities? Are you sure we can't get
Don't-
someone else? Okay.
Roderick, just
Let's just go. Please.
we're stuck on
Let's
these
just
tracks
go.
now. Let's just get on.
A hell of a lot
Sounds
better
right.
option than we had before. Let's.
Come on, big fella! And he just tink tink taps Ook. Off we go! And he kind of just begins to head in a northeastern direction out of the camp.
All right. Estes follows.
Very well.
Yep.
Say gears back up, but all of the fanny packs are now on Ook instead of him.
40 pounds lighter.
Okay.
I just would like to state that Egg, I guess, throughout our travel, for right now, Egg is gonna try and stay the furthest within the party, stay the furthest distance away from Adleth.
Ooh. Wow.
He's hurt. He's hurt.
Okay.
Adleth will notice this as they're walking and fall back into step with Egg and say, "Is everything okay?"
Is Othir with you?
Of course.
Yeah. And she's talking in giant though, because that's the language that they always talk in together.
Why didn't you mention that it was a dragon's egg?
I didn't want anybody to take it from me. I also didn't know if, and she kind of looks down and she says, people are scared of dragons, and even Ren said that having it would put others around me in danger. And I didn't want you to leave.
Okay.
I'm sorry I lied. Don't like lying.
It's not the lying.
What
It's just
is-
what it is. It's just what it, and his eyes just darts over to the dragon real quick. It's what it is.
Do you not like dragons?
I don't have a good history with them.
Neither do I. What happened with you? You know what happened to my village.
Could we could we talk about this later?
Yeah. Tonight?
Uh,
Watch together?
sure. I guess, yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to go back to the front?
If you could, yeah. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Come on,
We're
puppy.
we're we're okay. I promise.
You're one of my best friends.
Thank you.
I
You're
just-
you're mine as well.
She kind of gestures for Puppy to follow her back to the front. She's been staying up at the front with Fennec the whole time.
Okay. Absolutely. It is a good number of hours of travel that you guys begin to head through the forest. Once again, it begins to get thicker as you leave sort of this open field / glade that the Green Braids had set up their camp within. And deeper you get into the Chondawood, the more dense it becomes. Less light begins to pour through the canopy, and it begins to once again have this gray, low light. Every once in a while, Fennec has to stop, and it seems like he gathers a direction. And he points up, and he starts heading that direction. You're not really sure what is guiding Fennec. He seems to stop, and doesn't look like he's looking for tracks or anything. He kind of is gauging almost what's around him, and he's up, and then he'll head a different direction. It seems like you're never headed in one single direction. As the first day of travel begins to come to an end, I would like Adleth, go ahead and roll me a perception check. And Fennec will as well.
Oh, why did that math take me a second? I rolled a 10. It's 19. I looked at it. I was like, math.
As you were traveling, you see this massive tree stump, sort of oddly placed within the forest. It seems like one of the trees had either been logged or knocked over. You don't see any remnants of the tree that had been fallen, but it seems like the stump is quite old, as you can see the rot has begun to take over it. But it is massive. It stands taller than all of you, almost as tall as Ook. He probably just reaches the same height as him. But what catches your interest first, and Fennec notices as well, he goes, "Isn't this interesting?" And you notice as well, you don't see any signs of woodland-esque travel here around this giant tree stump, but you do see footprints, both of man and of horse. Pretty evident to both of you. You also see, and you see this, Fennec does not, at a small tree nearby the large stump, you see a small little pouch kind of sitting on the tree, like at the very base of the tree where the roots are kind of sticking out of the ground. It's about this size.
Be right back! She's gonna run over.
Sure. It is just a small little leather pouch.
She's gonna look around. No one's around.
Perception check. And the rest of you at this point see her dash off towards this little tree. And Fennec at this point turns to all of you. Human footprints and a horse. Multiple horses.
With shoes?
Yes. He kind of looks at you confused.
So not forest folk.
Not that I know of. It worries me. And you see this kind of worry kind of wash over Fennec's face.
Maybe more from the Five Blades.
Adleth, What do you got over there?
I rolled a 25.
25. So, you pull this bag up out of the ground, and inside of it, you see it has some coin. But when you pull the bag up, it almost looks as if it has well, it doesn't almost look. It has a tear in it, but it looks as if it had gotten snagged on something, and it kind of has ripped open. And when you pick it up, some coin falls out. And it kind of clatters on the ground.
I don't need this. Well, but I guess the others like it. Okay. Oh, she's gonna pick it up.
You carefully pick it up, and the coins that fell out, they're three gold pieces, that you kind of like, I don't know, maybe carry on, hold on to, and the rest of you, she brings back what looks like a little pouch.
I found this.
Ooh, anything in it?
I shall. Does Redrick look like he wants it?
I mean, I don't know what's in it.
Oh, coin.
How much we talking here? I'm very interested immediately.
She'll hand it over to Redrick. She's like, I don't really understand coin, so.
Take it,
Yeah.
count it.
Yeah, so it's not too much. It's only 53 solid gold pieces. And as you're rummaging through, you find a small little scroll. About this big, and it has a black string kind of tied in a knot.
I mean, 53 gold, not a bad haul, and also, fuck this is. Just kind of like open it up, I guess.
What languages do you speak?
Common and Draconic. That's
You
it.
do not understand the language as written here. It is common in lettering, but it doesn't seem like it makes any sense
Can I
to you.
take a look at that?
Sure. Looks like gibberish to me.
Can Ren understand it?
You can. And only you can. It says, you are to meet in Elblador hastily as soon as a week. Meet the contact there. You head into the forest. A few weeks worth of travel with the contact. Follow all instructions. Do not ask any questions. You are merely there for protection. And there's a stamp at the bottom of it. The stamp, the same symbol that was on the pin that Redrick had found. The 5 blades.
What to say, Ren?
Ren's gonna just kind of look up at all of you. Almost with like a suspicious look on her face.
The gold.
26, 27,
Yep.
28, 29.
She hesitates for a minute. She looks at all of you.
What
And
you
then
got,
she
witch?
kind of watches. She kind of watches Finnick, and then as she says this, she's gonna pay attention to everybody's faces, and she says, "It's instructions for a spy or something."
How do you mean?
It says it's instructions for somebody to get to Elbador, meet with contact, head into the woods. Weeks of travel. Does anybody react to this? As if they like, oh, that's for me. Including Finnick.
Give me an insight check.
8.
Hard to tell.
Yeah.
Everyone just kind of seems just as confused as you are.
Is there?
Left with a torn bag. Maybe they came through this way and lost it.
Who sent the spy? I mean, who's asking for a spy? Does it say who it's from?
5 blades.
Tracks with what we found before.
Is there any sort of marking on the coins?
You look at them. It's the standard currency of Erebar and surrounding areas, right? Your standard gold coin.
Frankly, I'm surprised they made it this far.
I'm not. Not if there was more than one of them. If there was 5 or 6, they could have lost 3 easy and then kept going.
Suppose so. Well, we better try and catch up then, huh?
Do you people know who left that?
Not a clue. Let's go.
Not personally, but by association, probably not so good individuals that we want to catch up to, I would imagine.
I believe we did mention the ones we found the other day in our conversation.
I was hoping that the ambush at the camp would have scared them away, but it seems like they've made it farther than we thought. Anyway, on we go.
That was your fault.
51-52. Anyway, if they didn't get that pouch, doesn't that mean they didn't get the instructions? Or is that just me?
They probably had the
That's-
instructions and just lost them here.
It's
along
got
the way.
snagged on a tree.
Right.
Did it look like it was snagged, or like it was left there for someone to find? Like meet at the stump and find your instructions, kind of thing.
It was hard to tell. I mean, it wasn't sat like perfectly in a spot, right? It was still at an angle and kind of looked like it had maybe fallen. But it's almost impossible to tell, especially since Adlith have already picked it up and moved
Gotcha.
it.
He said like the bag was torn though.
Yeah, there's a
Like maybe
small
a-
tear on one of the sides of the bag. So even as you're counting it, you can it's almost falling out.
Gotcha. I'll
Caught
just
on
move it
something.
into my own bag then. Keep it safe.
How about we
It's secret.
7 gold, 5 silver each is my math.
I mean,
I
that's
think
on
that's
top
fair.
of the other gold we already got together, which was another, 2 and change each?
Right.
If we split it up. Could just all keep it together for now, just in case not all of us make it out.
Yeah, why don't I hold on to it? This bag's a little ripped.
I love your confidence in there. Yeah, thank you.
Always got a plan for the worst. And just hope that it's not true.
Is there anything else around this site? Anything else of interest?
Perception check.
Also 8.
Well, you can see.
All
I
right.
just had a busy couple of days or a
Yeah.
day.
She's distracted.
Let's get a move on.
All right, follow. Kind of does like a little circle. Me this way.
Oh dear God.
All right. And he pulls out this little pipe again and sticks it in his mouth, and you see him light it with a little spark of a rock. Okay. Eventually, the night slowly comes to all of you. And Fennec says, "We're gonna have to make camp for the evening. If you don't mind, I'm gonna go take a look around. Gauge my direction." Kind of looks back at you. I'll be back within an hour. I promise.
Does he seem above the board?
Yeah, I was gonna. I was gonna ask the same thing.
Okay, one of you or two of you can roll, or just one of you with advantage. It's up to you.
My insight's dog shit, so whoever wants to take it.
I
That
think
sounds
my,
okay.
my insight is.
Not you. You've got -1, don't you?
No, my
Or no,
insight's
that's
actually not
intelligence.
bad. Yeah,
Okay.
I think I have +3. Where's my
Oh, mine's also +3.
I'm at a
Oh,
4.
insight.
Egg!
insight? I'm +3.
Okay.
I have a
I've
5.
got +2.
So
And
am,
plus
am I
1.
doing 1 or am I doing advantage?
Roll with advantage.
Advantage. There you go.
Sounds good. I'm gonna use 2 different die. This is gonna go
Hit it.
terribly.
Wow,
Watch.
dude. 1 and
That was
2.
great.
Oh, okay. That's a 18 total.
Seems rather above board, as Sarah has said. He just seems like he's going to do a little bit of scouting. He seems confident. It doesn't seem like he's hiding or anything, or he's lying about what he's going to be doing. But it's hard to trust this little man.
He seems lost. Okay.
Calder will set to gathering wood and putting together a little fire and clearing some space for bedrolls and stuff.
Zaya will help.
Are watches being had this evening?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys want, Gook doesn't sleep. He's just gonna stand here and
You see him as he sits his big ape ass into the dirt.
But I mean, if you guys want to take watches, that's not a necessarily bad idea. Hold on a sec. And he takes out a crowbar and holds it for a second and yells really loud into it, and then holds it off to the hand and then presses it again, like squeezes it, and you can hear the yell come out of it. We're like, all right, that works. And he puts it in Nuke's hand. He goes, just squeeze that if anybody's going to kill anybody else.
He just holds it out. No
All right.
response.
I'm going to get some sleep because I'm tired as fuck. So, go.
Castus.
Yeah,
First watch.
sure, why not?
Atta boy.
Egg and I will take second.
I could grab third.
Yeah, I'll sit third with you.
And Ugon.
And Zaya gets a nice rest.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so whoever's taking the first watch, go ahead and give me perception checks for both of you.
Get some sleep, y'all.
All right, don't fuck me, dice. God damn dice. That is that's a 6.
2.
Oh,
Very
great.
Wow.
What does Ook get?
Wow. Nightmare team doing great.
Yeah. Beautiful. We're super laser focused right now.
Yeah, so focused.
As you both are staring into the small little campfire in space, probably both of you, you hear what breaks your unfocus, makes you jump a little bit. Sorry about that. Wasn't gone too. He kind of checks a fake watch. What?
The others are starting to sleep.
Oh, I forgot
Keep
Mr.
your
Serious
voice
over here. Anyway, he turns to Cassis.
Jesus Christ.
There's a stream about an hour or so ahead, which means we're less than a day out. We follow the stream, find the halflings, go to the grove. It all leads to the same place, essentially. But I'm gonna go over here and get some rest.
Okay,
Tell
you
Grumpy
do that.
Grumpy Pants he also needs it.
Thank you. Well, we appreciate
Enjoy.
the assistance.
Tips a fake hat and goes and finds himself. You see him lay out a bedroll and
Calder kind of watches him go and turns back to Castus. So,
I don't want to go to sleep. I really don't.
yeah, well, we got a few hours yet. Zaphin.
Yeah?
How'd you come by their name? Do they talk to you a lot?
Frankly, I'm not sure. I'm not even sure if I should even trust Zafin anymore. I mean, he, when I was a kid, when I was very young, maybe 5 or 6, I once had a dream, and there's a man. There's just the dream was I was just playing around. I didn't have many friends, um, and a man just was standing there, kind of looking at me, and I was just just picking a stone, and he kind of motioned me over, and of course, dream me, there's no problem with that. So I walk on over, and he kind of kneels down, looks at me, and I can't. It's that thing where you see a face, but you don't see a face, and he was telling me just asking me my name, and I said told him my name, and he said, "Well, it's nice to meet you. My name's Zafin." I took his hand, and it was so warm, and and I woke up, and then kind of there on out, every so often he would pop in, just kind of talk to me. I figured it was just because I was so alone that I just made him up, but then he would tell me to go do things like go here and you'll find something, and I did. I would find things. Yeah, I would just find things. So yeah, so I guess he told me his name.
Hasn't been my experience. I wish things were that simple. Like, I'm not to say that it's not complicated. Clearly you've got your own journey, but for me, well, last night after drinking the water, first time I actually saw who I think has been communicating with me. No face, though, at least not that I can make out. Just woman, silver robes, silver hair. Tried to ask who she was, and she wouldn't answer.
Yeah. I kind of reach into my pack again and pull out the picture that I was given. The brochure is like, I had among other things I saw during that, whatever that was. I saw this, and it kind of points to the knight with the sword and the shield. Like, I don't know if this is Zafin. A part of me wants to say yes, part of me wants to say no, because what that was, it's impossible. It's just, I'm just certain my brain saw this and just kind of just cobbled together all these things and memories and desires and just things that it just like a dream. All it was is just a dream. Like, I'm just putting things together, random assortment of things, just to mess with me. And then I woke up and here I am, and now I'm just have that over my head, but it's impossible. It's not real. It wasn't real. It was just something in the water.
If Castus, if that helps you sleep at night, stick with
No,
it. But I don't.
They say it's impossible. It is physically impossible to see what I saw.
That I think that water had to be more than drugs or whatever. It wasn't just what I saw. At least part of it was memory.
How?
But, well, sort of. It's like I saw it through new eyes. But it was somewhere I'd been before.
Let's see, that's not possible. Because what I saw, there's no way for me to have known about it. But it had to be some random assortment of thoughts, that's all.
Maybe. Or maybe there's more to that water than we understand.
No, I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe that. Because if
What'd you see, Castus?
bullshit, that's all. Just bullshit. Possible bullshit. Because there's no way for me to have seen it. Because I wasn't even born yet.
What'd you see?
I don't know much about what happened to my dad. From my mother, if that's what you want to call her, she's told me things. Because he died about a day or so before I was born. And I saw was the day he died, which is impossible because I wasn't there. I have seen maybe drawings of him or just imagined what he looks like, but I had that when I was there, when I was in that space, I could see his face, and I just that you just know. It's like me knowing Zafin when I saw him. I just know what he looked like. I knew it was him, and I could have just reached out and touched him, but suddenly then there was fighting, and a second later he was dead. And the real kicker about all of that, as he pulls out the pistol, just kind of holds it, he was killed by something like this. Now, tell me, why would Zafin, the person, the thing that's been guiding me for as far as I can remember, have me find not only something like this, but find someone who has things like this when it's the very same thing used to kill my father? I mean, what sense does that make? So that's why I'm certain this is bullshit. Because it has to be. Because it just has to be.
Maybe. Fuck, I'm not that good at this. I wish I had something better to say. Maybe it's bullshit. Maybe it's some kind of cosmic fucking joke. I don't know. I don't know Zafin. Sounds like you don't know Zafin that well.
I thought I did, but I'm having my doubts.
Maybe he's just trying to show you something. Maybe it's a... Fuck, I don't know. It sounds stupid as hell, but maybe it's some kind of sign. Maybe you're on some intersecting path with whoever did it.
Well, if it's if it's that, then I don't know. What? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, at least if anything, I take after my dad. That's what mother said.
Well, I
Sure,
haven't
do you
known
take
that
after your?
long.
Do you,
I haven't known you that long, but seemed like a good sort. Maybe a little more mischievous than I might like on some occasions, but
well, one
good
has
all the
to
same.
keep one entertained. I mean,
Yeah.
you have very few friends. You kind of have to keep busy.
Yeah, I can relate. The the old skin color and glowing eyes and such did not help me make friends as a kid.
If you don't mind me asking, I mean, who did who do you take after? Because I look kind of more like my mother, but I take after my father because of his bloodline. But that's as far. I mean,
Yeah, well,
we're not exactly common sort.
how do you mean?
Oh, I mean, how often do you see people like us walking around? Granted, I guess it's kind of hard with hard to tell sometimes. I mean, I wasn't sure with you, but I kind of picked up a few things around as we've been going.
People like us. What do you mean?
Um, um, you do know that you're. I don't want to step out of No, I'll just leave it at that. I don't. I'm just tired. I know it's been a long walk. It's been kind of a long day.
Yeah. Well, okay. All right. Who I'd take after? I don't. Well, they used to make jokes about traveling merchants and such, but honestly, neither. I don't. I don't look like either of my parents. I don't. I'm human. I thought. I think. Both my parents are.
Wait. Both your parents are human?
Right.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
That explains a little bit. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're
You got me at a loss. Here,
maybe
Justice.
at a later point in your genealogy. I didn't know my grandparents or anything beyond them, but I'm pretty sure you're not human per se.
Well, the looks would certainly imply something different, but No one's been able to tell me what or why, so
Okay.
hoping the
Kinda
one with
reaches-
silver hair would, but
Reaches into his pack and kind of grabs a dagger and like give me your arm. Give me your arm. Just
Castus,
Trust
if you
me,
cut
buddy.
me, I will hit you. And I hold out my hand.
Then you're not gonna like this, and I cut him.
I'm gonna deck him.
Okay, roll an attack for me.
Yes. Unarmed attack. What do we got? What do we got? +6. 17 to hit.
Oof, that hits.
All right, yeah. So
Roll a
you
d4
cut
and
my
add your
right
strength
hand and I just
modifier.
like bop you in the jaw for 5 damage. Sorry. I told you
okay.
it would. It's like an involuntary. Sorry.
Okay. You're going to help me prove my point real quick. Okay. I touch your arm, and you heal 3 points as my eyes flare. The irises glow blue. Now,
I'll
see,
reach out to his jaw, just put a finger on it, and heal him 3 points as well.
thank you. Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
All right.
Still looks a little.
Alright.
You can have a bruise. All right, so
Ow.
we have yet more similarities.
I tinker on watches. I have a gun. I don't follow any sort of religion just per se. But I healed you just a little, kind of take the edge off. Because I can. Because my father is an ASMR. I take after my father.
Oh, what?
My mother explained it as it is a human who has at some point had some sort of celestial mingling in some degree and kind of created people like us. Apparently, I don't know if it's like everyone who meets an ASMR kind of gets to roll that dice, but I picked up on that. and-
You saying I'm like an angel, something?
No, not exactly. You just kind of have a little touch of it, just a touch. I mean, the healing thing's all I've ever been able to do. So, oh, and the night vision kind of thing. I kind of would fake it around people with these goggles I have,
Mhm.
but I can see just fine in the dark. Kind of a nifty little trick.
Hmm.
I'm assuming you've had no problem looking in the dark either.
No.
Yeah.
Been noticing more than that lately too. Since I left where I came from, it's like I've been stumbling into power. I don't fully understand how to use it or the extent to which I have it, but it's like there's a little more every day. It's like I feel it inside, like a connection to something, and every once in a while, it's like something I do is enhanced. Where I wish, I don't know, I wish something upon another person, and it just kind of happens.
That is nothing I've ever done. I think that's where our similarities end. Now, kind of in the same vein. Remember when we first talked that I said there aren't many of us, so not to let that be aware to a lot of people. Kind of keep that under your hat still.
Um, I mean, are you sure?
Yeah, I am, especially. Yeah, I'm very sure.
I mean, I don't make a very good celestial if that's the case.
It's
I'm not-
selfishly, it's more for my purposes, if I'm being relatively honest with you.
Um,
Mm,
you two have been jibber-jabbering for some time now, and I'll tell you what, at least 3 pack of wolves have just passed this camp 3 times. 3 times.
Are you dead yet?
Listen, mister, hey, shush, everybody is sleeping.
Okay, sorry.
Rolls
Finnick.
back over.
Oh,
Okay,
fuck.
yeah. Let's
Look. That's a lot to unload.
I know. I didn't mean to kind of. I wasn't planning to have this conversation, but I just felt like probably should. We can touch base maybe on this later. We should probably wake up the others.
Yep. Right.
Right.
Calder stands up and goes and gently shakes Adleth.
It was second watch. Egg.
Egg.
I go and kind of nudge Egg. You're up.
Hey, darling. It's your watch.
You see the ears kind of flick as she rolls over, and she nods and kind of keeps Puppy sleeping.
Reach out a hand to help her up.
She'll take it and get up. Thank you.
He does not help Egg get up because he's much larger than Cactus.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, cool.
Y'all be
Um,
careful
Okay,
now.
I need you both to roll me perception checks.
Sure. Come here.
ooh, 6 plus 9.
15.
Oh wow. Roll 21.
Okay.
21.
Your watch
Come on,
is
Ewan.
silent so far. Within like the first, 30 minutes or so. Anything you guys wanted to do?
So, she made sure that she didn't wake Puppy when she got up, by the way. So Puppy's still sleeping over by like her bedroll.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks to Egg and says, "So, we were gonna talk?"
I guess so.
What happened?
From the mountains that my tribe is from, I'm not really sure how long, but for a good while there was at some point a dragon had made one of the peaks its home. And had been kind of screwing with our tribe and the surrounding area for a while. And a few years after I was born, it ended up that we had decided to do something about it. And we ended up having to send more or less our strongest fighters, warriors, to go and try to oust the dragon. We weren't not expecting to kill it, just to at least get it to go somewhere else, just to leave, more of just so that we could be left alone. And um, we were successful. Well, I wasn't a part of it. I was too young. Um, but we were successful. But in doing so, we of course had casualties, and I lost my dad.
See Adlis kind of shoulders fall.
Yeah. So I mean, I know it's not as bad as having to lose both your parents to a dragon. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, we did bring at least whoever did come back did bring back a few trophies. So it's not as if, it was a, you know, kind of like a backward. But
Egg. My heart aches. Don't make yours hurt any less. I'm sorry you lost your father. And I'm sorry that puppy being around is hard. I would never let him hurt you.
it's technically out. Is Redrick technically? I mean, is he technically part dragon? He looks
Mhm.
like it.
He
I'm not
is.
sure. So I guess Redrick's okay. At first, I was iffy, but he seems okay.
He's not.
um,
Can confirm.
but I guess I've never really had to actually deal with one before. I've only just been told about them. Either from my mom or moreover from the ones who came back. Some of the stories that they told, especially when it was fresh and I was at such a young, impressionable age, doesn't really having to actually have, without any warning, having to confront one didn't help. So,
I should have told you. That's my fault.
you didn't know. It's not your fault. How would you?
No, but I thought I was protecting you by not telling you that it was a dragon egg. But I realize now my faults. And I'm sorry. Maybe. I mean, Puppy seems a little moody at times. But maybe it would be a learning opportunity to build a positive relationship with a dragon. That's how I'm trying to view it. It's the same with fire. Puppy's a fire dragon. I don't like fire.
Huh. I guess we're kind of on another opposite stance with that, and he puts up both of his hands that are completely covered in mostly burn scars all the way, at least up to his elbows, and of course some other cuts or scars from deep cut wounds as well. But I don't. I guess that's what kind of helps make it a little comforting. I don't mind the flame,
Well, maybe
but
we can help each other then. I can help with your fear of dragons. You can help me with my fear of fire.
okay. I'm okay with that.
Okay. Is there anything else bothering you?
No. he was from the start of the conversation he was very tense. And I guess though he can be a bit of like an intimidating presence. Though maybe to others it could seem a little weird, but to you, I'm assuming it would probably just be a bit more of like, yeah, it's whatever. But he seemed like he was very tense, but also kind of like shrunk. But now he seems like he's kind of like got back a bit of his confidence. He's like upright his posture. I hope this works out. I mean, I know, especially if we're gonna continually have to travel together, which I would love to do. I think that we work well together. I know I'd have to get used to it one way or another, whether it's a good thing or not. So, I guess, yeah, I guess it's good to have a positive spin on it then, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. And Adlith will kind of grow quiet for a bit. Oh, the dogs. Sorry.
Oh, it's
And
not
wolves
grow
kick
quiet.
up in the forest.
Sorry.
The wolves made their way.
Wolves are back.
Adlith will eventually, if Egg allows it, like lean and like rest her head on his shoulder while they're waiting and drinking the rest of their watch.
And it comes. Go ahead.
Is everything okay with you? Anything on your mind? Having to be a mother?
Great time to ask her a question.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. All of this.
Smooth move, dude.
She kind of, she's still resting against him, and she says, no, I'm worried I'm gonna mess up,
I mean, it seems like you've been doing well so far. I mean, then again, he was just an egg. But I don't think I ever caught his name, by the way. Does he have a name? Did you give him a name?
His real name is Othier, but I like to call him Puppy.
Have I heard that name before? Or I guess moreover, was there ever a name for the dragon? Was I ever told it? Did we know?
You've never. Go ahead and roll me a history check.
Okay.
You were never told a name for that dragon, but let's see if you know it.
This roll feels very appropriate. That is a 4 total. I rolled a 2.
You've never heard that name before.
Okay.
I like Puppy better.
Yeah, puppy feels more comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah. And then she'll just go quiet. She keeps her head on his shoulder and just sits quietly with watch.
And it goes rather quietly. This deep into the night is rather still. Eventually, you both get tired enough that you awake Ren and Redrick early into the morning.
Yeah, I'm up.
To kind of walk out into the woods a little bit to refresh the fire. Both of you give me perception checks.
Ooh, nat 19 for a 22.
Much better than my 12.
Okay. You listen for a little while. You can hear what sounds like running water, and not too far off in the distance. Just a faint trickling. Nothing else.
Sounds like the river
Crackling
can't be
in the
too
fire.
far. I'm just gonna kind of plop down and like pull out the little flask I sometimes have and just start drinking from it.
Yeah. Ren will sit. If you look at her, she's kind of like looking at her hands. And she's focusing on what she saw when she woke up the previous morning.
Mm-hmm.
The daggers in her hands, and she's trying to like remember the feeling
Mm-hmm.
and just see if she can recreate anything.
And looking down. In that moment, when you heard Briar's voice, and that almost that feeling, whenever he first told you to leave, that panicked. When you heard your name being called out one last time, close your eyes and you try your hardest to remember that voice. And you open your eyes and they're there. The same green glowing.
She immediately drops them.
Do I see that?
You do. You see Ren just quietly kind of staring at her hands, and all of a sudden, almost like out of a mist, they form into these two daggers in her hands, and she drops them. And as she drops them, they kind of fade as they hit the dirt.
I just kind of freeze, like mid-sip, like, well, that's new. Put the flask away.
Did you see that? That was real, right? You saw that?
Oh, that was real. What the fuck was that?
She'll concentrate and try to do it again.
It's a little bit easier this time.
And this time I'll jump and then yeah, no, that's new. And
You're not
open my
really
hands
a
again.
witch, right?
I mean, I wasn't.
What the?
Can I try something?
That's a loaded question, considering you're holding glowing knives.
Oh well, I'll try to like let them go and see if they dissipate.
Yeah, as soon as they, almost as soon as they leave your hand, as they fall to the ground, it seems like they kind of turn into this green mist.
Okay. So.
What the
Something
fuck
else.
happened last night? The other night, you all went in there and everyone's out freaking out and running into the woods, and what happened? Just lay it out. I wasn't gonna ask, but now you've got that whole situation going on.
Ren's gonna stop and she's gonna frown and she's gonna think back to the fight yesterday morning with Simonius and try to like, she's been thinking about this a lot during the day, like thinking about what he could have possibly meant. And she's just gonna try to like recreate the feeling and like focus her thoughts at Redrick and just really want him to hear her and just say in her head, "Can you hear me?"
Probably just like jump a bit, like, yes.
I can hear you.
I don't think
Okay.
like, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Weird, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And we're just
So I think I'm
circling
a
back. We're
witch.
sure on that. Okay, cool. Hey, that wouldn't be my first witch.
Really?
No, it would. So that was a lie. I'm fucking with you.
Well, that was a fucking
Yeah.
lie.
Oh shit! Look at you. Guess you're a freak
I
too.
don't. Yeah. I guess.
Nothing to be ashamed
Um,
of.
Yeah, it's gonna take some getting used to. It's and she'll just kind of like summon the dagger, drop the dagger, summon the dagger, drop the dagger. it's weird. It's kind of weird, kind of cool, kind of weird. Could have used it a little bit ago.
Here, I'm gonna walk over. Like, you wanna pull that out again? Can I? Just like try and grab it.
Yeah, I'll summon it and see if I can hand it over to him.
Yeah, so Redrick, whenever you go to grab it, you don't feel anything. It actually is as if your hand is just passing through mist. But then as soon as your hand like goes through it, it reforms in Ren's hand.
Weird. It's pretty solid to me.
Yeah, it's a neat trick.
I'll like poke my own finger with it.
It hurts.
Ooh. That's weird. I felt it, but I'm not bleeding.
Oh shit. That's
Yeah.
something. Circle back
That's a red
around. My
point.
question got a little bit skipped. What the fuck happened last
Oh.
night?
I had a bad dream.
Fucking terrible ass dream.
Yeah.
Seems like you weren't the only
was-
one either.
Yeah. I have to see if that was anything.
I,
Like there's I don't know. It was like a memory but different.
I had a fucking awesome dream last night. I was like a dragon just fucking flying around, breathing fire and shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah?
Well, not a recurring dream, you know. It comes with the,
Oh,
yeah,
comes with the like the whole
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never met anybody like that.
Neither have I, being honest. Just kind of came that way. Human parents,
Yeah.
nothing special, just
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Never met
So you
anyone who
don't-
could make glowing knives.
Oh yeah, no, me neither. Except for, well, I guess I am that person now.
There you go. Welcome to the club.
Weird.
Weird.
Well, I guess I can't really be normal anymore anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Listen, being normal is overrated. People know you're weird, you get to act weird, and life is just so much more fun. Don't have to act normal anymore.
Kind of scary though.
Eh. You'll get over it. I have a couple friends I can introduce you to.
Yeah.
Nothing like that, but different varieties of weird going on.
Well,
And the witch was
You don't
only
look
a
around?
half lie.
As you look around, you just see a giant metal ape with blue eyes just kind of staring into the woods.
yeah, I mean, like if I was gonna like turn into something really weird, then I guess this is a good time for it to happen.
Yeah. I mean, we're all kind of weirdos here, right?
Yeah.
Our own little ways.
Okay. And with that, your watch also, passes unimpeded. You both watch the sun rise as it begins to lightly peek through the canopies of the Chondawood. Fenix is the first one up and to begin gathering his things. As you all begin to wake up and have breakfast, he tells you what he told Calder and Cassis the night before.
Well, doing a little bit of scouting, we followed the stream for about half of a day. This should take us to the halflings, and hopefully, with me being there, we should at least gain some sort of permission to get to the grove. Maybe they could guide us. I personally know where it's located, but like I said, permission first. Any questions?
And this will get us there in front of the other people who are looking for this.
Can't promise you that.
Well, let's double time it and do our damnedest.
I have an important question.
He looks up at you.
Yes.
You want breakfast seasoned?
He takes his apple.
I'm good. Thank you.
Healthy. Very good.
Any further important questions can be directed at the one with the scales on his face. I'll be leading. Follow me.
As you all kind of walk farther into the Chondawood, eventually Fennec does lead you to a very, very small stream, only about 5 minutes away from where you were camping is. Probably what you heard is you can see the water kind of gently rolling over rocks in the Chondawood. As wild as this place has been rumored, it seems rather peaceful here. At least the past couple of days that you have been within the wood. But following Fennec, hopefully within half of a day you will meet up with the Ghost-wise halflings to gain access to the Lumen Grove. But with that, we are going to end our session tonight.
All right.
Hey.
Long
Trauma.
enough.
I know.
The whole time after the questions were supposed to be directed at
Boy.
Redrick, Adlith was asking the most pointless questions.
Oh, geez. Questions that you probably know the answer better than I do. If it has anything to do with the Chondawood.
No, it's like, what's your favorite color? You got a favorite flower?
I'll get back to you on that.
Hell yeah.
All right. So a couple more followers while we're streaming. Death Teddy, subscribe to us. Death Teddy 1, we appreciate you. We had Kill 'Em Nada gifted another sub to Adept W.
Oh my goodness.
The Blacksmith.
Wow.
Rockstar.
The Blacksmith has followed, and we had Bjorn Dory gifted a tier 1 sub to the Blacksmith. So
Hey.
there you go, guys. We definitely appreciate it. Thanks for tuning
Yeah.
in.
Yeah,
Welcome,
everybody.
welcome,
Thank you,
welcome.
guys.
thank you.
Love you
Thank
all.
you so much, and hope to see you next week, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. See you, everyone.
Bye.
Good evening, guys.
Night.
Good night.